Good afternoon, this is Travis with MTFI, Montana Tactical Firearms Instruction. Today we've got a drill for you to work out your height over bore on your handgun. If we are to look at our gun, you'll see that our red dot sits on top and then you have the bore or the barrel down below. So there's a distance, usually about an inch, inch and a half. Now if we play with our zero on our gun, so a 10-yard zero, 25-yard zero, you're going to see a difference in our height over bore because it's an angle. In other words, the barrel comes out straight and our red dot is making an angle to the point of impact. So if we zero at 25, it's really important that we know our height over bore up close. It's also a good fundamentals drill because if we're aiming at this small dot, we have to have the fundamentals with our trigger press, grip, and everything else in order to get that shot to land where we want it to. But this way we can start to learn it. So a good way to do this target already has these small spots on them. Okay, and you can see these are from Targets Online. This is the OTOA target. And it already has these dots set up for height over bore on a typical AR. Okay, for your height over with your sighting system on the rail. To figure out your height over bore, it's aim here, hit here. You're not going to see that quite as much with a pistol because we're zeroed at 25 yards, but we can use these dots in a similar way. So my first shots, I'm going to aim here and it should hit right about here below it. Subsequent ones, what I'm going to do is actually switch up and try to hit the dot, but guessing at my height over bore. Okay, that way I start to learn it, so when we apply to a different area on the target, or if I try to shoot something else, I can have kind of instinctually learned that at 3 and 5 yards, this is my height over bore. Once we get back further, that height over bore becomes negligible, depending on my zero. But it's a great fundamentals drill coupled with testing that skill of, do I know my height over bore? What is it? So we learn it off of our first one, and then we apply it on the subsequent shots, and we should see it get better as we progress across and use these. And you can do this at home, blank target piece, and make little marker circles, and that's fine. But the goal is, let's make it really exact so that we learn that connection of our sight system to our height over bore. Iron sights, this works too. You're testing the fundamental, you're seeing a little bit of that height over bore, because iron sights are typically zeroed for 10 or 15 yards. If you buy a new gun, great way to learn. Is it a 6 o'clock hold or is it a bullseye hold? It varies by manufacturer. So if that's not in your instruction manual, go out and get it. It's a good way to start learning your trigger too. All right, so now we'll show you how it's done. So red dot on the first black dot. So to come up on the first one, his height over bore isn't that much, so I'll demo this on my gun because I know I've got some height over bore on what I'm carrying. So I'll show you that this will be a lot lower if I do my part. Shot analysis on it, we can see a little bit of grip issue here, maybe some trigger press issue, but the progression is that it dials in as you move across. That's usually what we see, and that would be normal. So we're striving for that each time we're going to learn by our shots, improve, work it in, and then if we ran this a bunch more times, it would be very clean and done well. And then guess what we do after that? We could step back and work it, instead of at 3 yards, bump it back to 5 yards. 10 yards, this would be mighty sporty, really small target. That's why a 1 inch is a little bit better, okay? But that's how you can get a better group together and know your gun. I'll demo over here real quick. We'll do one using a gun that has a little bit more height over bore, and you'll see a difference. Just to show you This one, this is my best hold. You can see I put 3 of them through the same here, but I was holding my dot just at the top of this one. This gun has a very high dot. If I held it center, I was down here. Okay, so that's just a way to see height over bore. And now if I'm gonna just pick out of this space, line it up and try to hit the dot, I'd be aiming up here. Okay, so that's a height over bore drill for you. And remember, we're here. Call us if you want to set up an appointment, get some skill training with us, or take a look at our course list and sign up if you can.